Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Police seeking man who used robbery victim's bank card at ATM. Detectives assigned to the Halfway Tree Criminal Investigations Branch are seeking the public's assistance in locating a man who allegedly robbed two women and used one of them bank card at an ATM. They say he is wanted in connection with robbery with aggravation and unauthorized access to computer data. A media release from the Jamaica Constabulary Force Corporate Communications Unit says the man was among a group of men traveling in a white Toyota Probox motor car with red registration plate purporting to be a taxi on August 18. It said two women boarded the vehicle and reportedly robbed at their cellular phones and cash. The men allegedly took one of the woman's debit card, demanded her personal identification number, and withdrew $100,000 from her account via an ATM. Police say closed-circuit television footage from the ATM captured the man's image during the withdrawal. Anyone with information who may be able to assist the police in locating the man is asked to contact the Halfway Tree CIB at 876-926-8185, Police 119 emergency number, or Crime Stop at 311. Chef decomposing body found in Hanover, husband in custody. A man is now in police custody after being named as suspect in the death of his wife in Longwood District, Hanover. The decomposing body of 35-year-old Judin Smith Grayson, otherwise called Youth Man, and Red Boat, a chef of Longwood District, was found at her home on Tuesday. The police said residents described smelling a foul odor coming from her house and summoned them about 12:15 p.m. The police found Smith Grayson's body on the floor with several stab wounds. Following several leads and police operations to apprehend Smith Grayson's husband, he turned himself in to the Maypen police in Clarendon early Wednesday morning. The police say arrangements are being made for him to be interviewed. Illegal guns seized in St. James. The St. James police seized an illegal firearm and 7 rounds of ammunition during an operation on Malden Road, Maroontown, St. James on Tuesday. The Springmount police say about 5:50 p.m., lawmen were in the area when they saw a man standing in his yard. The police said he ran into his house after seeing them. The house was searched and a pistol with a magazine containing 7 rounds of ammunition was allegedly found inside a room. Driver of garbage truck that killed Clancarty schoolboy pleads guilty. The driver of the garbage truck that overturned killing Clancarty Primary School student Benjamin Blair 3 years ago yesterday pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the Home Circuit Court under a plea deal arrangement. Alton Brooks will be sentenced on January 13 next year. The court has ordered a social inquiry report as well as a copy of the driver's antecedent. Bail was extended by the court for the Bull Bay, St. Andrew resident who is in his 30s. Brooks was arrested and charged in 2019 after the 7-year-old was crushed to death on October 28 on the school grounds. Reports are that about 4:30 p.m., Benjamin was at school when the garbage truck that had been picking up trash hit a taxi and then overturned on the boy. It was reported that at the time of the incident, the truck was left unmanned and that it was slid off a slope. The driver initially fled the scene. Attorney at law Davian Vassell is representing Brooks. JDF soldier in sexual misconduct scandal back in Jamaica. The senior military officer at the center of the unfolding sex scandal in the Jamaican Army is back in the country, law enforcement sources have revealed. He reportedly returned last weekend. On Tuesday, reporters submitted questions to the Jamaica Defense Force JDF seeking confirmation that the officer was in Jamaica. All witnesses are now available to the JDF's investigating office to allow the completion of the investigation, Army spokesman Lieutenant Curtis said in an email responding on Wednesday. Curtis, however, sidestepped questions about whether the police have been called in to probe the allegations. As investigations progress, all complainants are advised of their right to make a report to the police, he said. The accused Army officer was attending a military training course in the United Kingdom. At least a dozen female soldiers have accused him of various acts of sexual misconduct, including rape, groping, and unwanted advances, sources previously revealed. The JDF later confirmed that it is conducting a sexual harassment investigation, but denied that it involved 16 complainants. A 2006 claim by an then Army major that she was raped by a lower-rank officer while they were on an overseas training course will also form part of the investigation, JDF boss Antoinette Wims Goldman stated. Assault rifle handed over in St. Mary under amnesty. An assault rifle was handed over to the Portmore Police in St. Mary yesterday under the government's gun amnesty. It was not disclosed if the weapon was loaded with ammunition. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson yesterday conducted a site visit in Port Mario. Speaking to reporters, Anderson said that the handover to Port Mario Police is a clear signal that illegal firearm holders are willing to take up the amnesty. A rifle has come in here, and also rounds. Somebody separately has turned in rounds in St. Mary. It happened across the country, said Anderson. It's what we kind of expected from the amnesty. There are a lot of what we call loose gun out there. Persons who have weapons in their possessions, but sometimes they don't know how to bring it in. They don't even use it or carry it or need it. Sometimes somebody died and left a weapon in their custody, and they are not really sure how to go about handling it, he added. The amnesty, which was enacted through the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation, Firearms Amnesty Order 2022, and resolution passed by Parliament, began last Saturday and ends on November 20. It gives holders of illegal guns at least one chance to turn them in and avoid tough sanction, including a mandatory 15-year prison sentence that are included in Jamaica's review firearm law. The police commissioner appealed to persons in possession of legal guns to take up the amnesty. The amnesty provides for those people to rid themselves of that at this time, and then after, you know what that is. Just enforce the act. Subsequent to the amnesty, there will be less opportunity to do, so my advice would be to do it now whilst you have the chance. Phase reoccupation to Corner Regional Hospital to begin next year. Reoccupation of the main building at the Corner Regional Hospital in Montego Bay, St. James is expected to begin on a phased basis next year. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton said that he is satisfied with the progress of repair work done over the last 6 months. From 6 months ago to now, I am a lot more confident in terms of the progress being made, and we do expect over the next year that phased reoccupation of that facility, he said. Tufton was given an update on the progress of renovation works at the multi-story Type A health facility during the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industry Mobile Expo 2022 held at the Montego Bay Conventional Center in Rosehall on November 4. Tufton, during his contribution to the 2022-2023 sectoral debate in the House of Representatives in May, informed that work under Phases 1 and 2A of the rehabilitation program held being completed at a cost of $1.3 billion. Work under Phase 2B is now underway and is aimed at remedying structural defects. That phase of the repairs is expected to cost $1.7 billion. Meanwhile, Tufton noted that the government continues to invest in the improvement of Jamaica's health infrastructure. There is a plan for major infrastructure development in health. If you go to the Corner Regional Hospital site, you will see 3 cranes building out a 6-story, 250-bed facility for adolescent and pediatric care, and that construction is in full flight to be completed in another year or so. It will complement the Bustamante Hospital for Children, except that it also deals with adolescent care from 12 to 18 years, he noted. Nationally, there are big plans about building out Spanish Town Hospital, a 6-story facility at a cost of US $60 million, Nepen and St. Anne's Bay under an International American Development Bank funded program. So, for an infrastructure standpoint, we are making progress in healthcare, the health minister pointed out. $16 million compensation for fisher folks affected by recovery pollution. The government is proposing to pay $16 million in compensation to fisher folks affected by the July fish kill in the recovery in St. Catherine. A media release on Wednesday from Minister with responsibility for the environment, Matty Samoda, stated that the National Environment and Planning Agency (NEPA) has recommended $57.2 million in compensation. Samoda said the sum was calculated using the average daily catch of each species of fish and the number of fishermen estimated to be in the area and affected by the pollution incident, which lasted 10 days. The payment to fisher folks is part of the wider compensation package totaling $115.7 million. In addition to the compensation for fisher folk, NEPA will also receive $15 million for ecological assessment, $10 million for natural resources valuation, and $14.3 million for oversight of remedial works by UC Roscal Windalco. The National Water Commission will be paid $42.9 million for revenue and operational losses, while the National Irrigation Commission will get $17.4 million. The money is to be taken from the $117 million environmental performance ban paid by Windalco, which the government drew down on following the pollution of the river. Some other notes that the package is $107 million less than was recommended and says it will be addressed through other legal channels to hold Windalco accountable and with upcoming budgetary allocations. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell